Hey there guys, Craig here with Funding Freedom U, and I'm going to be showing you an EveryDollar tutorial today, all about how to save money in your emergency fund when you're using the hack of different paycheck subgroups. If that doesn't make sense, if you're paid weekly, how can you log your emergency fund savings if you're going to be putting a little bit out of each check into emergency funds? So I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do that today. Now, before I do, I would love to give you a free financial freedom roadmap. Just click the link up here and it will be sent directly to your inbox. This is a step-by-step guide to knocking out debt, building savings, and finally having some peace of mind when it comes to your money. All right, let's jump in to my EveryDollar account here. And so what we're going to be looking at is if you are paid weekly and you're using this EveryDollar system that I highlight in another video, where you change the groups to paycheck names. So if this person is paid twice, they have two subgroups named Paycheck 1 and Paycheck 2. Now, I didn't go through and edit my whole budget here to fit this, but what you would probably do on here is you'd have a line item titled mortgage. You'd have a line item titled groceries. And you would decide how much out of each paycheck do you want to allocate toward each of these categories. Now, what I'm going to add is EF for emergency fund to Paycheck 1. I'm just going to go ahead and add one to Paycheck 2. So let's say you've budgeted everything and now you're going to put some money into your emergency fund, and you'll see we have $500 left to budget. Well, maybe you plan on taking $250 out of each paycheck and saving that towards your emergency fund. Now, the problem here is if I look, it's not going to go into a fund. I have no way of tracking it because they're separated. I could turn each of these into a fund if I want to and just have two different locations, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But if I did it that way, I wouldn't have the benefit of, if I click on this little box over here, tracking my baby step 1. You'll see right now I have $0 saved so far. The way to track baby step 1 is to log your emergency fund in the designated emergency fund category. I have it favorited. You'll find it under savings right here. So you'll want to use that if you want to track your baby step 1. So how can I use that though if I'm using this method, Paycheck 1 and Paycheck 2? So let's explore that. What you can do, and it's going to take a little bit of moving some stuff around, is you'll see I have an EveryDollar budget. I'm going to add a transaction. So on my phone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and it's going to be a $250 transaction. I'm taking $250 out of this paycheck and I'm putting it into my emergency fund. So then I come over here to emergency fund and I'm going to add a $250 income. It's going into the emergency fund. So now you'll see my emergency fund balance is $250 and I have balanced everything out. I have $0 remaining from this check. So I took it as an expense, you see the negative, took it out of that paycheck and put it into the emergency fund. Then when check 2 comes, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now, if you're using EveryDollar Plus, what it's going to look like, let me create a couple of transactions up here, so bear with me. We're going to say $250. This is, and when you go into your checking account and you transfer it, so you know what I mean, like you transfer from your checking into your emergency fund savings, you're going to get transactions that look a lot like this, right? My EveryDollar Plus users know this. You're going to get a minus $250 because it came out of checking, and you're going to get a plus $250 because it went in to your savings. So if that's the case, you just drag the minus $250 from this paycheck. It came out of that paycheck, and we're going to drag the plus $250 into your savings. So either way, if you're doing the free version, you'll have to type it in. Just make sure you do an expense when you take it out. It's an expense, and it's an income when you put it in. but that's going to make sure that I'm tracking that emergency fund. If I come over here, you'll see I now have $500 saved, 500 left to go. That's how to do it if you're doing weekly paychecks. It's a little bit of extra work, but if you want to track your emergency fund savings here, that's the way to do it. If you don't care about tracking it in EveryDollar, then don't worry about it. You really don't have to. You can just look at your bank account. But I like logging that stuff and tracking it, and I know a lot of you do too, so that's how you can do it. I hope that helps. If you have a question, drop it in the comments box below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next video.